On this episode of INI9, I have with me Shashi Shekhar, all the way from the United States, a guy whom you might know as the famous Offstumped guy. So Shashi is the guy I turn to when I don't understand what's happening in politics, which is almost every other day. So Shashi, what's the story with the UP politics? UP election results. They've been. I always thought it's better to analyze this after the results have come out rather than to do it before, because there's no science to this. But after the election, what do you think? What's the roadmap from now?
Fun part of elections, of course, is to analyze it, before the results come, because once the results are out, you have to live with its consequences. But yeah, to your question on what is the roadmap from here, I think it is good that UP got a decisive verdict. So we're not in the limbo, we're not in uncertainty. Though not many have reacted positively to the events last evening. Maybe they were an aberration. Maybe they're not representative of what's going to happen going forward. Maybe Mulayam Singh's son Akhilesh Yadav, who's being touted as this new youth icon, probably moves things in a better direction. So we'll have to wait and watch. The one thing that will most likely not happen was this agenda of division of Uttar Pradesh. This has been in the air for many years. After Uttarakhand branched off, Mayawati very belatedly pushed that agenda. She got the legislative assembly to pass that resolution recommending a division of Uttar Pradesh. Now with Mulayam Singh Yadav and the Samajwadi Party coming back, I don't think the division of UP is any longer in the agenda. What that means is we are stuck with a monster state called Uttar Pradesh, which will continue to exercise a very disproportionate influence on.
But why is this business of disproportionate influence? Because I've never understood. Okay, they have 80 seats, but in terms of demographics, in terms of economic growth, in terms of law and order, anything. Why should they be? Why should the UP state have this kind of a disproportionate income? Disproportionate influence? I don't understand this.
Yeah, it's more political, not so much economic, right? Just the sheer number of seats and the fact that it's always tempting, right? When you look at 80 seats, you think, oh, if I'm going to sweep Uttar Pradesh, I'm going to dominate the Lok Sabha, and hence a lot of energy gets wasted on Uttar Pradesh. And it's such a complex state, right?
That itself tells you the thing, right? Now this is a counterfactual. Because if it is so complex and you have only 80 seats, aren't you better off focusing on 545 minus 80, which is also probably as complex, right?
Yeah, that's the counterintuitive way of looking at it. But then UP is UP. I think it's it encapsulates all the extremities of India, right? Where you have urban pockets, you have Noida, which is right next, and then you have the other extreme. So I think UP is mini India. So people are bound to disproportionately focus on it. While I take your point that you're probably better off picking up seats other places as well.
Yeah, but what does this mean for national politics, reforms, presidential elections, 2014? What's your call?
So national politics, I think it is going to be chaotic days for the UPA. Though I don't believe we will get to a midterm poll that soon either.
Nobody wants a midterm poll, right? Because nobody has the money for it.
Nobody wants it. Yeah, exactly. And I think Mulayam Singh Yadav and Mamata Banerjee wouldn't mind driving hard bargains for some more time. What is the incentive for forcing an election? So that's so I don't foresee that necessarily happening. But at the same time, this whole limbo will continue. The other big thing that is going to happen is the increasingly deafening noise around Narendra Modi. I think that's inevitable. It's ironic that those who don't want him to come to Delhi talk so much about him that they will make his moving to Delhi eventually inevitable, because there's a high stakes election in Gujarat, and between now and December, whenever that election is held, there's going to be incredible noise. So I think that's the other aspect that you'll probably see in national politics. And as far as the next Lok Sabha goes, I think we are back to where we were in 95, 96. Where smaller regional parties, a very mixed mandate. I think that's the kind of scenario we're looking at. Though I think on the flip side, both the BJP and the Congress will be very wary of propping up a third front,
Yeah, but
given the past
Shashi,
experience.
just me just stop you there. Don't we see that the electorate itself has become smarter? That in state elections they are voting parties which are state focused, and in national elections, as the 2009 election showed, there was a clear vote for a national party which would form a government at the center. So why would we think that it's going to be a third front? Couldn't it be that the voter has become more discerning, and then in the national election he'll vote between the BJP, the NDA and the UPA, and in the state election you'll vote for whoever the state coalition is.
Well, that phenomenon you saw only in UP last time, especially in the seats that the Congress won. You could see that they dominated in the assembly segment and so on. But Andhra and Maharashtra, I think the logic was slightly different there. I don't think it was about voting for two different parties at the state and the center level. Andhra, they used to do that in the past, right? They used to vote TDP state and somebody else for the center. You saw that in the past, but I don't think that's the phenomenon across the country. The reason why I feel that things will be fragmented is that the Congress has weakened, right? They've not built the organization. Look at Andhra, that's their mainstay, and it's a mess. There is no way the Congress can be assured that it will get the same number of seats.
But that's I kind of sense that if a person in Andhra or in person in UP or a person in Karnataka is voting for a regional party which doesn't really have a stake in forming a government, won't the voter think that this is a wasted vote? Why? I mean, even if there is a BJP candidate or a Congress candidate, the voter would find it more likely that one of the two will win. So you don't waste your vote by voting in some third party guy. Because as far as your local community caste regional issue is concerned, that's already taken care of in the MLA state assembly elections, right?
True, but see, Andhra will have simultaneous elections, right? It will have both state and Lok Sabha at the same time. So that could influence it. Now, in states where that's not the case, possible, your logic could apply. See, the other thing is if your logic holds, the Congress has a natural advantage because it can force that dichotomy, while the BJP may not have the same advantage. So it may not benefit so much from this phenomenon than the Congress will likely benefit.
Okay, Shashi, thanks. This is nice. 9 minutes. I've got enough gyan. There was a little bit of a disturbance and bandwidth problems, but I think the message has come through. Thanks, Shashi. Have a good evening.
Bye.